What is up, guys? And Howl-O-Scream is what I'll be reviewing today. And this past Thursday I went to it, and it was my first ever time to Howl-O-Scream. This is actually their 20th year compared to Halloween Horror Nights' 29th year, which for the past couple of years I have been to Halloween Horror Nights. So I kind of knew what to expect, but from when I went to Howl-O-Scream, it's definitely different than Halloween Horror Nights. And there are definitely some aspects that are better than Halloween Horror Nights, so as I compared them, they're like Halloween Horror Nights houses are definitely better. On how I see it, Halloween Horror Nights is more world-class sets because there are like these massive sound stages which are used for Halloween Horror Nights. And they're just overall more detailed, but for Howl-O-Scream, it's more just raw in my opinion. More darker and overall just a little bit less detailed, but there are still great houses in my opinion, just not as good as like upper scaled as Halloween Horror Nights. But the thing that made Howl-O-Scream so good was the scare zones. They are hands down better than Halloween Horror Nights scare zones. There were lots of cool props and great scare actors. Now, something reoccurring that I noticed in the houses is that there's these jump scares that they jump at you, almost touch you, but they are great scares. There's these in pretty much every house at the end when they come out at the most unexpected time, and they just jump out, and the scares even me, like, which they were great. But looking at the houses, there are 6 houses: Simon's Slaughterhouse, Motel Hell, Infestation, Black Spot, Bloodshed, the new Residence House, Insomnia, Patience, Revenge, and Deathwater Bayou. They are all good. My top 6 is actually the last Black Spot. Then 5 is Motel Hell, 4 is Simon's Slaughterhouse, Insomnia is at number 3, 2 is The Residence, and number 1 is of course Deathwater Bayou, which I'll be going through every house, so Black Spot. This one was good, obviously not the best, but had a cool pirate theme with a disease coming around, so they're becoming evil. It had some okay scares, but overall, I'm not the biggest fan of pirate houses. That's why a couple of years ago at Halloween Horror Nights, Dead Waters is not the best. But now Motel Shelbourne was actually very cool. The detail was out of the roof. I mean, there was rooms like motel rooms, but it's supposed to be Motel Hell, but it's like the exact opposite hotel I would want to be in, so obviously it's going to be themed to a hotel, which this year is Infestation, so there was tons of bugs throughout the house. What it did feel like for most of the house, there was lots of missed scare opportunities, which was the biggest downside. Now, Simon's Slaughterhouse, this house was like a part of a scare zone. It had some very solid scares, actually very gory. I actually went through this house 2 times, and actually in the house, we couldn't really see anywhere we were going or we were supposed to. I guess that added to the haunt of it, but it was pretty cool. But now Insomnia was themed to like a hospital, very cool and gory. This one reminded me most of Halloween Horror Nights because it is in a building that's there all year, which there was a cool like tunnel which each side was glass but you saw each side. There was also this cool massive prop that was like a huge flesh skeleton or something. There was also some beds and patients in them. It's definitely the scariest house here if you want to go in a scarier house, but now definitely The Residence and Deathwater Bayou, I had a hard time to decide which one was better, but The Residence was a new house this year. I had some fantastic scares and overall just has a cool theme. I got jump scares like really good at the end, which was great. And of course at number 1 is Deathwater Bayou. The scares were awesome. The theme was fantastic. There was this one room with like tons of either mannequins or scare actors. They were really creepy, and also in that room you had to walk under this coffin, which was very low, something they would not do in Halloween Horror Nights. It really was just a fantastic house all around and would compete with some Halloween Horror Nights houses. Now the scare zones are absolutely great. I'm not going through all of them, but there are 9. My favorite probably being the Meat Market, which has some great scares and sets. All of these scare zones were fantastic. They had very detailed and cool sets and music, which was awesome. Like I said, there are pretty much no bad scare zones here, but then they also have one show which I saw. It is Fiends. It's actually been at Howl-O-Scream for many years, and it was fantastic. It's about like the world ending. It has Dr. Frankenstein. There were also these cool nurses, which were neat, and overall the show was just enjoyable, and there were some pop culture references. They played some popular songs, and it was just a great show. Definitely the best Halloween show I've ever been to. Now, I did not get any food at Howl-O-Scream, which it did look to have some good food, but overall, Howl-O-Scream, definitely a great event if you have the time to go here. Something to point out is that the fast passes for the houses and the rides are only $5. So each, I definitely recommend that. There was like no lines for it, and they often went out of their way to get you through the house first. Also, on the rides which they are running, I rode all the coasters I wanted to go on, such as Kumba, Monsu, Shikra, Cheetah Hunt, Tigress, and Falcon's Fury. It was great. So that'll wrap up my review. Post in the comments what you think of Howl-O-Scream this year if you have gone, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified when I post a new video. It helps a lot, and see ya.